The Drukhari list for today has been slightly modified after the drumming by the Harlequins. Just a couple of interesting tidbits picked up on the internet, some of which I listened to, some of which I might not have, just because I want to test some things still. But I have the first patrol here in a triple patrol raiding party, because that's what we do. This is Cabal of the Black Heart. We have the brand newly arrived, painted, worked on him all morning, probably need to do a few more things, Archon. He does have the Writ of the Living Muse and Labyrinthine Cunning, because that's nice for re-rolling ones. You get 2 squads of Cabalite Warriors, Splinter Rifles, and each squad has a Shredder. Seems like something useful to take these days against all the infantry armies. Then we've got the Incubi, 10 of them, running them as 10-man squad again. We have the Incarn still. The Incarn I misplayed in the Harlequin game, but when I don't misplay, it does the business, and it's pretty fun. And then 2 Reapers, again, excuse the wrong models, but new models and pieces are on the way, so hopefully soon we'll have some actual Reapers modeled, but these are Reapers for this game. The second patrol, it's going to be Technomancers. Drazar, the Master of Blades, will be leading this up. We have just a squad of Racks. We have a squad of Scourge, all with the Shredders, and the Sybarite has the Shard Carbine. And 2 Venoms. And then the last patrol is going to be Prophets of Flesh. So we have a kit-bashed, custom-built homunculus over here with the Ichor Injector, Vexator Mask, Splinter Pistol. Then we've got a squad of Racks. We've got 4 Grotesques and 2 Talos. So the idea behind this, because the 4 Grotesques would be about the same as a 3rd Reaper, for the shooting, and it's interesting, it's tasty to try to put the extra Reaper in with the Dark Technomancers and get a lot more firepower with them, but you lose out some consistency without having rerolls for them. And I feel like holding objectives and being hard to shift helps out a lot in 9th edition, and so wanted to test this out with the Grotesques and see how that played. And 1 fewer Talos. So we'll see what happens. This list comes out to 2,000 points on the nose, which is exciting for me because I just like it that way. I'm OCD. So that is the list. This is the Drukhari rating force, and we'll come back in a second with the opponent's list. Today I am going to be facing off against the Tau. It's the Greater Good versus the Real Space Raiders. Who will win this little fight? There's a lot of talk about how poor the Tau are currently. Well, we'll see. It remains to be seen. So, my friend Jaden has come to thrash me once again with Tau, because I haven't beat him since it was back in 8th edition last time we played against my Grey Knights. And
played a little while, though.
Yeah, it's been a while. So things have changed a bit. So we'll see what happens. So, Jaden, go ahead and walk us through the list.
All right, so first off, I do want to apologize for being the guy whose models don't match his list consistently.
That's all right. There's not that many things off.
We have a commander and enforcer battle suit with a shield generator and 2 cyclic ion blasters. He has an advanced targeting system, which gives him -1 AP to all of his attacks, and then an Onager gauntlet. We have a Cadre Fireblade, who's represented by this Guevesa Commissar,
yes,
and an Ethereal on a hover drone. This is the Sasea Sept, so each unit gets to re-roll a single failed hit roll per shooting phase. We have, for the troops, we have a unit of 10 Kroot Carnivores for screening purposes. We've got 5 units of 5 Fire Warriors. For fast attack, we have a squad of 6 Vespid Stingwings, 4 Kroot Hounds, 2 squads of 10 Pathfinders, and a squad of 5 tactical drones. These tactical drones, despite some of them being missile drones, are all shield drones.
Excellent.
I'm not normally one to use shield drones, but I felt like in this particular scenario, especially going against a list that I haven't fought before, yes, I wanted the extra durability. As far as elites go, we have a Kroot Shaper with a pulse rifle. We have a squad of 3 broadsides. These are not crisis suits. We're using these as broadsides. And I've spent a command point to give them a Magna Rail rifle, which is a strength 9. It's got the same stats as a regular rail rifle when it comes to inflicting mortal wounds on 6s. But the damage minimum, instead of doing a d6 and doing whatever damage you roll, it is a d6 with a minimum of 3 damage per shot.
Yep, tasty.
And then we have 2 Riptides. They each have a bunch of weapons on them because I just really like gluing as many guns as I can to my Riptides. But they are both using heavy burst cannons and smart missile systems, as well as an advanced targeting system and the not an early warning override. It is the whatever one it is that gives you rerolls on failed hits in Overwatch.
Yes.
And then finally, we have a squad of stealth suits.
Yep.
They do not have their teleport homer or whatever it was, like a low drop altitude thing. But the Chazvray is using a fusion blaster, and the other 2 are using burst cannons. The Chazvray has a target lock and a marker light, and then the I believe they all have target locks.
Cool.
Or no, these guys have advanced targeting systems, so their burst cannons are -1 AP.
Okay.
And that's it. That's what we've got for the Tau this time.
And as I always feel when I come up against Tau, it's a lot of bodies with a lot of guns.
A lot of bodies, a lot of itchy trigger fingers.
Yeah.
Let's hope they get to shoot.
And it does make me awfully happy. It warms my heart every time we play to have Kroot and to have Vespids and those Kroot hounds. Is that what those are called?
Yes.
Yeah.
We also have some humans mixed in with these Pathfinders, some converted guardsmen.
More of the greater good.
Yes.
So we'll show you the battle map. This is going to be a bit of an Imperial place, world, whatever you want to call this. Got a couple of kind of shelled out manufactorum, I guess is what those would be, factory kind of places, and a few buildings over here. So we've still got some Imperial citizens holding down the fort, or they were. The real space raiders have come to this planet to collect some new things for the homunculi to have new experiments with. And the Tau are going to claim to be the greater good. They're claiming that they will defend these poor citizens of the Imperium.
To deliver these humans from their awful overlords and from
we shall see.
Leather space pirates.
We shall see. We'll be back in a minute with deployment zones. We'll go over the actual mission. We got to roll up for that still. We'll get the objective markers down, and we'll get back into this and roll off for the first turn. Alrighty, folks. The deployments have been done. This side has a lot of Tau. I was really hoping they just wouldn't fit, but for some reason they did. I was kind of disappointed, I'm not going to lie. The Vespids are going to be coming in on the winged deployment.
Big surprise, sardines are effective, or especially effective at fitting in small spaces together.
Actually, I shouldn't be surprised, should I? Yes. The little stealth suits decided to pop up here and be nuisances in the center of the board. Good for them. On this side, we have the Drukhari forces, so there's some Racks, Venom with Cabalite Warriors, Reaper, Archon, Talos, Homunculus, Racks, Incarn, Venom, and then inside the building down on the first floor is the 4 Grotesques. So that's them. We have Incubi and Drazar in the Webway portal. We have the Scourge that is, I think it's called Winged Deployment. Winged? I always say it funny because I think it's funny. Anywho, we rolled off mission number 23 of the Grand Tournament Pack, which gives you 5 objective markers. You can see them here. There's one in the dead center, and then you got the 4. They're kind of spread out. It is interesting. Jaden has taken the mission-specific secondary strategic scan, so we'll see how that goes for him. It's not a bad one. It'll be kind of interesting. I mean, he's got a lot of bodies and things that can do the strategic scan, so it probably will work out pretty well for him. We'll show you in the next screen the secondaries for both armies. I think we both have engaged on all fronts. Yeah, bring it down, assassinate. Those are all things in play today in this game. So, we will do the roll up. Well, I have assassinate. That's what I'm saying. There's a few. I didn't list them all, but I'll pop it up. It'll be the next thing that shows up after this video, and we're gonna roll off to see who gets to go first, and it could be important. So, the guest gets to roll first.
All right.
Roll away.
1.
It's a mighty 1.
That.
I might win the first roll off on the channel. I
did. 2.
I did. It's a 2. Huh! That's the first time I won a roll off in a while. The Drukhari are going first. We're surprised. We'll be back at the end of Drukhari, turn 1. The Drukhari won the roll-off, as you saw, and went first. And this is the movements. Over here, we have Grotesques, Homunculus, Talos, and the Venom all moving forward. The Venom and the Kabalite Warriors deleted the stealth suits. That was good. I was enjoying that.
Like poor decision on my part.
Maybe poor planning, potentially. The Reapers and Archon both came up. The green one was actually to the other side of the Archon and had line of sight to try to shoot at a Riptide down there because everything else was dead and out of line of sight. So he shot, got a hit, and then killed a shield drone with it, so that was fun. Rax moved up, taking that objective. They advanced, so they were kind of sort of harder to see unless he moves things a lot. And some of his stuff has tons of movement, so it might not matter. Venom back there also advanced a whole inch, but it got it onto the other side of the table quarter for engage on all fronts. Spent 2 command points on Black Cornucopians to bring these guys in here, stealing that objective. We're not stealing, but taking it and also getting engaged on all fronts. And spreading things out. So he's got some targets to kind of consider. Killed a couple of Pathfinders with the Talos shooting, and that was it. Not a lot of things had line of sight, not a lot of things had range, and he is about to come in and do his moving, so it'll be interesting. I got 3 for engage on all fronts, and that's it to start the game off. So we'll be back at the end of Tau turn 1. The end of the Tau. Turn 1. It was interesting. Did some shuffling, moved things around. My racks were deleted. I was disappointed. The 4-up invulns, I don't think I rolled more than like 3, which was kind of sad. And then no fill, no pains. Over here, the Talos, one of them, took a little bit of a beating from a Riptide, so he is down to a wound left. Over here, this Reaper in the front took another beating and is down to 3 wounds left thanks to Riptides. They're bad. These racks over here lost 2 of their friends to smart missile systems. Over here, we had a Venom. It took a lot of firepower, but it died. It exploded and killed a crew. That was cool, or Hound, or whatever those things are called. And then my dudes got out, and that was fun. And the Incarn said, hey.
That's the dead one.
Oh yeah, sorry. We forgot about that. We're in the middle of all kinds of shooting. So the Incarn came over to investigate why the Venom could have possibly died, and it is angry, and the Venom death shall be avenged. Yes, that's all I've got to say about that. So the end of the turn. And his little hounds, the only reason they did not charge was because they are doing strategic scan, which if they're still alive at the end of this turn, they will complete, and he'll have 3 points for that. So that's the reason they didn't charge into the Kabalite Warriors, because it probably would have been a tasty snack for them otherwise. I think that's it. So, did you use any crazy stratagems? I think you just used uplink marker light. So, yeah, it was interesting. A little screening in the back, and that's it. So we're gonna go into the Drukhari turn 2. We'll be back in just a minute. Drukhari turn 2 is over. So over here, for the interest of time, because I'm going to move them all out, the deep striking incubi are inside this building, and they make a nice column, as you can see over here, that would fill up this building right here. So we just put 1 in the front. The Scourge came in here within 12, deleted the Pathfinders, fired and faded to come back over here. So there's a little bit of less things that can shoot at them, which is good. The Venom over here moved up, did a lot of shooting, and did a whole killing of 1 Fire Warrior. The Sense of Stone and no AP, it just wasn't very exciting, even with the +1 to wound. Kabalite Warriors chipped 2 guys off of this Fire Warrior squad at the top. I don't think the Talos did anything in shooting. We spent the command point to heal the Talos at the end of the movement phase. He got a whole wound back. Yay! I mean, it could end up being important. Who knows? The Reapers moved forwards to just really make this objective hard to do anything with. They put some shots into the crisis. No, not the crisis suits. The purple one shot the broadsides and did not kill one. I don't think it even hurt one because you saved it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, their 4-up invulnerables on his broadsides was pretty clutch. The green one shot into the Pathfinders and I think killed 2. The Kabalite Warriors down there shot at the Pathfinders and killed 2. There's a trend happening there. The Incarn did smite to death the Kroot Hounds, so I was happy about that. Then the Incarn made the charge into the broadsides and then consolidated into the Pathfinders as well, or piled in, I mean, and killed 1.5 broadsides. So I'm happy with that too. A little bit of shooting taken care of, marker lights taken care of, at least for this turn, and then that was it. So we scored, scored 15 on primaries because I was holding, you have to hold 2 for 5, 3 for 10, and then more than the opponent. So I was able to max out the primary on this turn. So that was good for me. So it was a good turn. 2. Don't think enough things are really dead yet, in my opinion. Fire Warriors are not falling down the way I hoped they would. I'm a little disappointed about that. So hopefully by the next turn we'll be able to fix some of those things. So here we go. Tau, turn 2 coming up. All right, folks. Cao Yun was declared. Cao Yun, whatever it is, by the commander. They all sat still in this delightful castle of death. It really was not delightful. I'm being very sarcastic and lying. My Reapers are gone. I'm saddened. They were just pretty much pasted. Although I will say I spent the lightning fast points on the fully healthy Reaper, and it did take 2 Riptides. I don't remember if anything else shot at it, and then the Vespid to finish it off.
Riptides.
Yeah, it was 2 Riptides and Vespid. These boys back here, monsters, they tanked an SMS volley from a Riptide. Was pretty tickled, and then they rolled. I failed 2 save throws actually, but I rolled double 6s on the Field of Bane. The Cavalite squad, not so fortunate. They got obliterated, so the Incarn said, we will say adios to the combat over there because look at all these Kroot boys, everything else was coming in. It was getting toasty, and leapt over here to mess with Jaden's plans and hold another objective. Oh, that was so cheeky. And it happened to be after the Riptides had fired. I was really proud of myself. So nothing was shooting at the Incarn, and the guys, the broadsides, shot at it in combat and missed it, and made a save. So yeah, it did take 2 wounds, I think, from your SMS shooting while it was engaged.
It did take
that's
2
okay.
wounds from the smart missile systems.
Yeah,
but
so, well, yeah. Then Jaden tried the orbital bombardment. Sadly, though, it didn't wound anybody over here. Oh, and my wounded Reaper blowed up. Big time explosion. It hurt the Far Reaper, it hurt the Archon, it hurt the Homunculus, and it hurt the Talos that I spent command points to heal up the last time around. But in 2 games in a row now, healing that 1 wound on a Talos meant that it didn't die from a cheeky little weird thing like mortal wounds. So I guess it's worth it. So we will come back at the end of the Drukhari turn 3. The only other thing to really say about that turn was objective points wise, Jaden didn't score primaries, which was kind of rough. So the lead points wise is good. I feel a little worried because all of my Reapers are gone and they didn't do a lot of work. I don't know. And then of course if we do any charging, it's going to be real salty because everything's going to shoot me in the face. And does the Cao Yun go on through the next turn?
No.
Okay, so
At the end of the phase.
okay, that could be something then, because I was just thinking to myself, if I charge, it's going to be real ugly.
My Riptides still have the reroll failed Overwatch hits.
Oh, yeah.
For their,
All
for their
hits?
system. You
Or
reroll
ones?
failed Overwatch.
Jeez, I don't like that. All right, well, that makes me think. Might want to be careful. So yeah, there we go. That is the end of the Tau turn 2. We'll be back after Drukhari turn 3. Well, the Drukhari went crazy. The Archon, the Rax back here, the Scourge over here, shot at the Vespid and did nothing. Archon decided to charge them thinking he was cool, and he killed 1. Yay. Over here, we got cheeky. We done did the thing. I sent the Talos in first. They declared both Riptides and a little shield drone that was sitting right there. Weathered the Overwatch. I lost the Talos. I healed him up with the whatever you call it, the stratagem. So he died finally in Overwatch. The other Talos made the charge. tagged both units. Then everybody else charged in the grotesques, the incubi, Drazar, the Master of Blades himself. The only person who did not make the charge, poor little homunculus. He's sitting back there cheering. He was whooping and hollering. And you'll notice that a Riptide is missing. So the incubi almost killed the Riptide, 6 of them. It was really kind of bananas. Almost killed the Riptide on their own. They needed the help from the grotesques, who got him down with the mortal wounds. The Talos did not even kill the shield drone. We split attacks with him, so 3 went to the shield drone, 3 of his macro scalpels into the Riptide. The shield drone did die, saving the Riptide. Then the Incarn came in, got 4 wounds through. There was another shield drone hiding out back here that I forgot about. So that shield drone tanked all but 1 wound, and then the Riptide failed it. So the Riptide did eventually drop down to 6 wounds remaining. But I really had hoped that the Incarn would be able to pull that off without the shield drones. But in the end, shield drones are all gone now. We piled in and touched the Ethereal and the Fire Warriors. This Riptide is still tagged. So yeah, it was good. Beginning of the turn, I did max the primary objectives once more. I will not this turn because I left a lot of things alone just to try and be really bad and make charges, which I did. So Jaden's in a tough spot. We'll see what he can do. He can retaliate, can pull some stuff out of his sleeves, and we'll be back at the end of the Tau turn 3. The Tau turn is ended. Tau turn 3. Everybody just kind of fell back, not surprising there. So the 1 squad of Fire Warriors didn't get to do anything, but everybody else shot Drazar, the Master of Blades. He's down to 2 wounds. The Talos took another couple of wounds. I don't even remember what shot him, the Commander, I think. He took 2 wounds from that. The Commander made a brave charge into the Incarn. Foolish Tau person thing. Well, it did actually hurt him, so the Incarn lost some wounds, down to 3 left. Back there, the Kroot broadsides all moved forward, taking the objective. Vespids fell out of combat, allowing the Archon to be a turkey. He didn't shoot at him this turn, which I was thankful for, but he did destroy my racks. That was kind of rude. And the Riptide over here done popped up to the middle of the board and is now holding this objective in the center and being a very scary thing because it can shoot again in the next turn. Also healed with command stratagem. I don't remember what it's called, but it got 2
automated
wounds.
nanite repair system.
Yeah, that thing. He got 2 wounds back, so he's back to the middle profile, or is that back to your top profile?
Top profile.
That is top profile. So problems in a few places. That's it. That's the end of the Tau turn 3. A couple of points for engaging on 3 of the fronts, so 2 points there. And that's it. Yeah, I don't do. Yeah, end of the turn. End of turn 3.